and first reactions to warfare.
Feels like they were able to capture that closeness and that brotherhood and that bond.
It shows that war is not just an action movie and that it's filled with real people, that real things happen.
We are all coming back.
Yes, sir. Go in with an open mind, think about what we go through as veterans.
It's so important to tell these stories from our perspective, through our lens.
No other film has been made like this before. No story has been shared like this before. Only a veteran can tell this type of story.
You know, I think all the SEALs that were in our house, my house, you know, I think it was more dealing with the more physical limitations, as in, you know, guys being unconscious, knocked unconscious, and just, you know, dealing with that cognitive decline from being knocked out, trying to convey accurately of what somebody was feeling, and the sounds and the sensory kind of overload of it. But at the end of the day, I think we all felt, you know, when we watched it, right, Ellie was there, everyone, you know, mostly everyone was there. Yeah, the response was good. You know, we all looked at Elliot and we all looked at each other and we're like, yeah, man, you got it. That's about as accurate as you can get it. Just, you know, due to time, due to what guys remembered and didn't remember. Yeah, I mean, predominantly, I think it was well received. You know, I think in today's political climate, you know, how politically charged it is, I think oftentimes, I think a lot of viewers or critics, or whatever you want to call them, wanted to put it in a box. Like, is it pro-war? Is it anti-war? Like, what do you think about the war? Why didn't you say why they were there? You know, and that wasn't the intent. The intention of which I've explained was just to recreate it for Elliot, but then to also further show what combat is and what is combat, what is the price. You know, often if there are more character pieces, or maybe there's a more political message that filmmaker wants to tell. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's their prerogative. But you know, you're going to relate to maybe a different demographic. I made this movie for Elliot and for veterans and people in the military who fought that war, to say, hey, there's people out here that want people to remember, so that we're not forgotten. And so, yeah, it just needs to be a reminder of just what our country asks of our youth, who are now adults in their later years. And, you know, like myself, it catches up with you later sometimes for a lot of us. And just a reminder that the war is not over. That journey for us is not over. And, you know, maybe after hearing my answers, you may not care, you may care more. I don't know. But at least I put the effort into the education of it, of being truthful, being honest, you know, what that is, right? There's no trumpets when you're dying, and, you know, it's not in slow motion. This is as real as it gets. At least you're educated. And if you're, you know, I get, it's not this other movie, that this film, you know, even though you may like it, it's not an accurate depiction of what the cost is on the person. And so, yeah, it's an education, and you watch it and learn, or you can not and ignore it and pretend it didn't happen. But there will be another war, you know, there always is. Yeah, I mean, I think other than the difference of the sound, I think it's just, you know, I think a lot of other war movies would be like, you know, if I were to put a spotlight on a wall of like what war is, I think they try to cover more broad message of maybe why we're there, you know, where I think our approach is more laser focused. I wanted to focus kind of more on the human experience, the sensory of it, like how hard it is to make a simple decision, you know, the sounds are all there. I think again, I just added more layers to it than another director would, because of my experience, my firsthand experience of it.